Darksiders is an action game with lots of adventure, lots of cool combat, exploration, tons of different weapons, and big, cool-looking monsters.
So yeah, I just felt like the style was, for me, like a mixture between World of Warcraft and God of War. Do you think that meets what do you think about it?
Sure, that sounds cool, and those are very successful games. So if we have as many people buy our game as World of Warcraft, I'll be very happy. No, those games are very good, and they have beautiful art, and you know, I would take that as a compliment.
You've got some, I don't want to say celebrities, but a particular artist who is very known among comic lovers. So
That guy, yeah.
in what way does it help you, and what does he contribute to the project?
Oh, I'm wearing his name tag right now.
I know.
I love that guy. Well, I'm the creative director on the game, and you know, it started as small as just like a few notes scribbled on a paper and just some drawings, and you know, we've grown to, like, you know, we have a huge, you know, art team, different concept artists, things like that. But so I'm not as directly involved anymore. Or for a while, I was the only concept artist, and so a lot of the early characters and monsters and stuff was all me. And then as the team grew, I'm more in a supervisor role now, where I just, you know, work with people on a higher level and just manage the style and make sure, you know, the IP is looked at.
Okay, so yeah, how much are you concerned about the gameplay elements? How much do you think about that part of the game?
You know, I'm a little more removed from that, and I just try and focus on the areas that you know, where my strengths lie. But you know, I definitely play the game, and we meet with all the designers and everything, and you know, I have final approval, and so you know, I am involved, but a lot less directly in the design of the game.
So there's a lot of gore and yeah, very violent finishing moves. Is it really important for the game, or what does it add to the game? Why do we have it in there?
You know, the funny thing is, at first we had very little gore, and people said, "Oh, cool," and then we added more gore, and they said, "Yeah!" And it seemed like the more we added, the more people got excited. So we just want to give people what they want, so we just cranked up the gore. And honestly, the bigger and uglier the monster is, the more gory people want to see it die. So, you know, that's kind of how we came up with that.
I mean, God of War 3 is coming out, and you've got Dante's Inferno and all these games which in kind of a way compete with your game because they're similar in terms of gameplay. So how do you think about this very heavy competition?
I'm not too worried. I mean, first of all, people who love these kind of games will probably buy them all, like just like I do. I'll play Ninja Gaiden, you know, Devil May Cry, whatever. You know, if we're compared to really excellent games, you know, that's fine. But also, I think that once people play the game, they'll realize that it, you know, on the surface, it does look like God of War, but structurally the game is completely different as far as, you know, being able to retrace your steps and expand the world so that you have more areas to explore as war gains in power versus closing those doors behind you. And so I think once people realize that there's more focus on exploring and adventuring, and combat is just sort of is a smaller part than it is in some games like that where it's only combat. And I think, you know, I think that's where the comparisons will end, especially when you get a horse. I don't know of Kratos riding a horse or throwing cars at people, so.
I wanted to ask you if you know Area Games rule number 2.
I do, and that's why we made the game funny in some parts, because we can't have the other thing.
Okay.